From being one of the most loved commentary YouTubers in the Lolcow category, to being exposed for some of the most heinous crimes, and ultimately losing tens of thousands of followers in just a matter of days, the Leaping Lemur's story stands as one of the most disturbing plot twists ever seen on YouTube. Gilberto Cardona, better known online as the Leaping Lemur, makes commentary videos about bizarre internet personalities, commonly referred to as Lolcows. While he built his audience through his blunt and unforgiving criticism of these people, it turns out he was far more similar to them than anyone expected. One of the things he frequently criticized was how some of the individuals he covered were extremely obese and constantly eating. But as it turns out, Lemur himself is even more overweight than many of the very people he mocked. According to his own admission, he weighs more than 300 pounds.
Right now, I'm 250. I was 300 pounds though. Like before I start, I was over 300 pounds. Shit, bro.
But this is the least serious of the things he has done. From giving his underage girlfriend alcohol and allegedly S8'd her, to facing serious accusations about inappropriate behavior, Lemur's rabbit hole becomes far darker and far more disturbing. Lemur first started his YouTube channel back in 2016, and while he experimented with a variety of niches, including making rap music, most of his early content came across as nothing more than cringe. He first started getting traction on YouTube after posting a video about the infamous figure in the Lolcow community, Daniel Larson. Lemur was even featured on the Daniel Larson subreddit, where people described him with comments like this: "He is an okay channel making content on Daniel sometimes." And another said, "Lemur makes good videos detailing the Daniel stuff in case you miss something." Despite these positive comments, Lemur was also receiving a significant amount of hate online, especially within the Daniel Larson subreddit, where people accused him of making low-effort videos and even stealing content from other creators. The dude literally steals shit from Kiwi Farms, TikTok, and Reddit to make his boring-ass videos. Like, yeah, we get it, Daniel's a and it was not just content theft. Lemur also allegedly attempted to become Daniel Larson's manager. For context, these so-called managers are typically individuals who exploit Daniel's deep interest in becoming a successful singer by disguising themselves as representatives of record labels. However, their actions tell a very different story. They have often been linked to situations that triggered several of Daniel's public meltdowns, during which he threatened to take action against multiple federal organizations, including hospitals, police departments, and even the Federal Bureau of Investigation. These incidents eventually contributed to his arrest and the possibility of a sentence of up to 65 years in prison, according to one user on Kiwi Farms. After Daniel was banned from Cameo, Lemur allegedly tried to get his attention by claiming he could help reinstate his Cameo account in exchange for payment, which would be a highly unethical thing to do. All of this combined made the criticism against Lemur so intense that he eventually released a response video.
Featured on the top page of Daniel Larson's subreddit, and not because of my quick reporting and consistent uploading. Nah, because people decided to throw some good old criticism my way. So I wanted to take a moment to address this post and talk about some of these great constructive criticisms I got.
But instead of backing down, he continued making videos as usual. Soon after, he expanded his channel by covering other TikTok lolcows such as Nova Online and Tofiachu. His channel kept growing and eventually reached nearly 70,000 subscribers on his main channel, along with more than 10,000 subscribers on his second channel by late 2025. And not only that, but Lemur also built a dedicated fan base that genuinely enjoyed his content and consistently supported him by leaving positive comments under nearly all of his videos, with very little criticism appearing across his channel for a long period of time. However, around the summer of 2025, Lemur would start dating a girl named Lily, also known online as Teeth Gums, and this relationship would eventually become one of the key factors that led to the drastic downfall of both his channel and his personal life. The two first met on TikTok, where Lily initially messaged Lemur saying that she liked his videos and approached him as a fan who supported his content. At first, the interaction appeared harmless and similar to many other creator and fan exchanges. However, their interaction would soon take a disturbing turn as Lemur began constantly watching nearly everything Lily posted and regularly engaging with her content. The situation escalated further when Lemur sent messages to Lily telling her that he pleasured himself while watching her TikTok videos, even though he already had another girlfriend at the time, something he later admitted he felt guilty about. This behavior was not only awkward and inappropriate, but also disturbing on its own, especially considering that Lily was barely 18 years old at the time these interactions were taking place. Soon after he started dating Lily, Lemur began making several very cringe public posts about their relationship on his Twitter account. This was a particularly bad decision for someone with an online following, especially within a niche community where audiences are known to investigate creators closely, and sometimes go as far as exposing or doxing people connected to internet drama. Lemur was posting things like this: "My girlfriend is so hot on God. My "My girlfriend is so talented, it is crazy." As cringe as these posts were, many people in his audience were not buying into them and began reacting negatively. Instead of strengthening his public image, these posts created noticeable backlash within his community, with viewers questioning his judgment and criticizing him for openly sharing details about his relationship in such a careless way. One person said, "Why are we posting our Discord girlfriends? It's giving Nova." To which Lemur then replied saying, "She ain't my Discord girlfriend. She is my girlfriend who I called on Discord one time to watch a show together." But not only that, Lemur was also going back and forth insulting another commenter in a very inappropriate way by saying things like, "You look like you smoke crack, my boy. Go search for a rock and get off of me." Despite the growing criticism from his audience, many of whom felt he was posting his girlfriend in a way that came across more like showing off than simply sharing his relationship, Lemur appeared largely focused on proving that what he had with Lily was real and not just another online romance. However, the consequences of that decision did not take long to surface, and the attention he was drawing toward the relationship soon began affecting Lily directly. And before we go further into the story, I need a small favor from you. I've started posting these deep dives on Spotify as well, so if you prefer listening instead of watching, or you just want to support me, make sure to follow me there. The link to my Spotify is in the description. Before long, Lily herself became a topic of discussion on the gossip forum Kiwi Farms, and not in a supportive way. Instead of curiosity or the neutral commentary, much of the attention quickly turned hostile, with users mocking her appearance along with other inappropriate insults, which quickly turned her into an easy target for ridicule. Lily also had a history of serious mental health struggles as revealed in her own posts on Twitter. One post read, "I have been to the mental hospital at least 10 times. Chicken tenders and fries with a chocolate mousse cake made it worth it all though. And seconds with delicious sweet tea. A nurse ruined it though when she told me I couldn't eat any more snacks in front of the other kids." The situation quickly escalated as people began exploiting Lily's past mental health struggles to spread more hatred, even targeting Lemur and urging him to break up with her. One post read, "This woman is giving off some serious BPD vibes. Lemur, if you're reading this, abort the mission now. This woman will ruin your life. She is probably recording your calls, and whenever you inevitably break up, she will lie about you and or leak every secret you ever told her. I seriously hope you never showed her your face, because if you did, it is going to get leaked." The harassment eventually reached Lily herself, and she responded, "To be honest, I don't mind that people enjoy talking about me, because what if they are so lonely that that's their social time?" Despite her attempt to downplay it, the situation continued to spiral. Lily was doxxed by the same users on Kiwi Farms, and the harassment did not stop with her. It extended to people close to her, including her grandmother.
My grandma, my grandma's husband, my whole family, like just anybody we know, anybody. Every address, every phone number, every place that I've worked in the past, every place my mom worked.
After this, Lily and her family began receiving disturbing messages and other threats. The fallout was severe. The harassment eventually fractured her relationship with her own family, leading her entire family to block her on social media and her siblings to stop talking to her. Lily described the situation. "My sister stopped talking to me. My family blocked me. I was on the verge of breaking up with Lemur. My mom was going crazy. They did not want anything to do with me." Ironically, the person largely responsible for exposing her, Lemur, who had posted about her on Twitter, did little to comfort her. Instead, he minimized the situation by saying, "Who cares about a mid-tier YouTuber girlfriend? Like, I make Lolcow content. I am telling you, maybe 10 people. Only one person tried to hit you up. Your page is not even getting brigaded. That should show you how unserious this is." But not only this, he would also compare his situation with hers, saying he has received far more hate and threats than she has because he is such a well-known celebrity, and then spin the whole thing to make himself the victim and gain sympathy from her.
Starts to understand, but at the end of every time he tries to understand, it's like he turns it on himself and he tries to make me feel bad for him. Like, "Oh, well, there's people that wants to, nobody wants to." I'm just like, what are you talking about?
So even though you were the one that got doxxed, he was acting like it didn't matter and it was a bigger threat for him to potentially get doxxed, even though he hadn't been yet?
Lemur would also get mad at Lily for being upset about her being doxxed, to the point where he yells at her so aggressively that she described feeling it in her chest, and other people in her house with her could also feel the sound of him screaming.
And he screams at the top of his like to where maybe his neighbor could hear it, because I know my grandma heard it. He goes, "Why are you hanging up on me?" And like a scream that a woman could feel in her chest. Like it didn't feel right. Like it didn't feel good. It made me like
over the phone, but still scared.
Yes, like you could very much feel that like strong emotion of him being mad at me, even though I'm going through something.
Eventually, all of this became so overwhelming that Lily decided to break up with him, and that is when Lemur realized the seriousness of the situation, and decided the best way to keep Lily with him was by giving her false hope. Lemur began promising her that the two of them would start their own new YouTube channel, become the biggest content creators in the Lolcow commentary niche, and make big money. Not only that, but there were also other ridiculous promises, like him saying he had $3,000 in his bank account, and that he was going to give her the world with that money, claiming nobody would be able to treat her the way he would. I have $3,000 in my savings. Just don't be thinking any mother take care of you like I take care of you. Lily would later reveal that Lemur was extremely controlling and jealous. He would obsessively text her, and whenever she didn't reply, he would accuse her of cheating on him. This behavior worsened on Halloween. Lily was out partying and spending time with her closest friends, but Lemur not only refused to be understanding, he demanded that she reply to every single message, to the point that she had to have her friend respond to him, disguised as Lily.
Halloween, he was basically blowing up my phone to where like my friend had to act like she was me in text messages
What?
so he could leave me alone and like let me sleep, because I was just like, I'm partying, you know, I'm like sleepy, I'm tired, probably on the couch already. Like,
Lemur was so jealous that he didn't even want her to watch other YouTubers besides him, and whenever he saw videos of other creators on her screen, he would get angry and say inappropriate things.
I'm your YouTuber boyfriend, this and that, you know, just trying to front. And like I said, you know, he would get mad when I watch other people, like even like famous people like Speed. He would be like, oh, I bet you want to go date Speed, right?
Oh,
Like it was very controlling.
At times, this behavior became extremely disturbing. Lemur would threaten to kill her if she ever thought of cheating, saying, "On my life, this is the kind of thing that would get you killed." Despite all of this unfolding, at this point the two hadn't met in person yet. This would change soon, as the two would finally meet each other in person on December 13th, but everything would only get worse from here. From the very beginning, things didn't seem to be going well. While they were at the airport, the staff lost Lemur's luggage, and while it was upsetting, Lemur overreacted, yelling at the staff. His behavior embarrassed Lily to the point where she distanced herself from him for a brief period of time.
Woo, that's American Airlines for ya. Woo, great customer service. But like when I tell you he was screaming it and shaking his bag everywhere and like literally like screaming in this guy's face, I'm like, why would you do this? Like, this guy's probably already stressed out.
Yo,
You got people stressed out in a room. I'm stressed out. I don't like when people yell. It's embarrassing. I literally walk out when he's doing this, and I walk ahead of him, and I'm trying to pretend like I don't know him. Like, I kid you not, I'm trying to pretend like I don't know him. I'm trying to pretend I don't know.
After spending 4 nights together, the two would eventually break up on December 19th, and the next day, Lily would release screenshots of their conversations, as well as various disturbing accusations. Despite Lily being barely 19 years old, which is below the legal drinking age according to the state she was in, during their stay together, Lemur gave Lily so many hard drinks that she even passed out multiple times while she was with him. And while there is no hard proof to back Lily's words, Lemur himself would make a video admitting that they did drink too much. But instead of taking accountability, he would excuse his behavior by saying he was only 21 years old and only 2 years older than her. Not just that, but his statements were not even consistent. At one time, he said he drinks a lot because it gives him chills. And then a few minutes later, he would say he didn't drink a lot at all and that it was Lily who would encourage him to drink more.
I'm drinking. I mean, that's what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I chill. Like, I get chill when I drink. I didn't really drink. A lot of people know this. I don't drink on stream. She's the one who was like, hey, you should start drinking. You're 21. I drink. Started drinking.
To make matters even worse, Lily claimed that during her 4-night stay with Lemur, the majority of the time she was blacked out and completely unconscious due to the heavy drinking that Lemur provided to her. According to her, the amount of alcohol she was given was so excessive that she often had no memory of what happened for hours at a time, leaving her in a vulnerable and defenseless state while in his presence. And then, the situation became even more horrifying. Upon waking up after these blackouts, Lily would find herself in extremely inappropriate and disturbing situations. This included instances where she was completely and even moments while she was in the shower where Lemur stood there watching her. These occurrences were not just uncomfortable or cringe-worthy, they were deeply disturbing and clearly implied serious abuse.
I wake up and I'm
okay.
mind you, I don't know why I am, but me as a person, I respect myself enough to know that I shouldn't be on the first night. You know what I mean? Like, on the first night.
The situation becomes even more alarming when considering Lily's attempts to set boundaries. She would explain that after the first time such an incident happened, she explicitly told Lemur that she did not like being touched in that way and that it made her uncomfortable. Despite her repeated statements, Lemur continued to engage in the same behavior, completely ignoring her discomfort. At this point, his actions cross the line into what can clearly be considered reckless.
I was like, dude, stop. Like, stop. Like, I don't like it. Like, if you're listening to this, I know you are. I did tell you. And you know I did. I told you I was uncomfortable with it. And you did it anyway. Many times you said, oh, sorry, I'm just so clingy. I'm just so clingy. He would just excuse it with, oh, I'm just so clingy. And you're just so, I don't know. Like, are you even into me? Like, you didn't even ask me.
Lemur, in response to these allegations, claimed that Lily only made such statements after their breakup and after people started asking her about it, insisting that she never said anything while they were actually together. This claim is demonstrably false, as it can be verified in their direct message screenshots, where Lily explicitly wrote, "I thought I was being touched in a way I didn't like." This message directly contradicts Lemur's attempt to downplay or deny the seriousness of the incidents, showing that Lily had voiced her discomfort while the events were occurring, not after the fact. But the allegations would only get worse. It would later be revealed that Lemur is extremely overweight, at one point weighing more than 300 pounds. This detail is relevant because Lemur is known for his blunt and often harsh commentaries on the people he covers on his channel, including figures like Nova Online, Tuffy Alchu, and others in the Lolcow community. One of the main points he criticized these Lolcows for is being overweight, making it a recurring theme in his commentary. The irony, however, is striking. Lemur himself is overweight, reportedly reaching more than 300 pounds at one point, which is actually more than Nova Online, a Lolcow whom Lemur frequently criticized for his own weight. Even in his own words, Lemur acknowledged his condition, saying, "Babe, me too. I have a stomach and man. You know this since you have seen me with my shirt off." This admission highlights the hypocrisy of his criticism, showing that while he publicly mocks others for their weight, he himself struggles with the same issue, which adds another layer of controversy to his public persona. Even in his older videos, Lemur's voice was very breathy and shaky, showing the existence of some kind of breathing problem that likely stems from his weight. Despite this, Lemur would deny having any issues and claim that he is not as big as Nova Online or Tuffy Alchu, because he has more muscle mass and is taller than them. This argument is irrelevant because he is still heavier than both of them.
I'm as big as Nova, like maybe weight-wise I am, but I'm 5'9".
Oh yeah.
I actually have a pretty good amount of muscle mass. I'm definitely a big boy. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't Nova big and I ain't Tofia big, that's for sure.
Not only that, Lemur would make a video accusing Nova Online of being overweight after all of this came to light. He went even further by blatantly insulting anyone who compared him with Nova, calling them stupid. This is not only hypocritical, but also deeply ironic given that he embodies everything he has accused Nova of. He also refused to engage in any self-reflection or humility, despite the truth about his own weight being widely known.
But at the end of the day, Nova is a lot worse. And if you don't think Nova is worse, or somehow in your mind you think that I'm worse, you're just stupid. You're just plain dumb, I hate to tell you. You can't use your brain.
On top of this hypocrisy, Lemur is also proven to be racist. Lily revealed that he has said the N-word multiple times, and not just in casual situations, but as a deliberate verbal attack directed at another person. Lemur would then attempt to justify his repeated use of the N-word by giving contradictory explanations about his racial identity. At one point he claimed to be black, then said he was white, and later asserted that he is Hispanic.
Hey, did you lie about being black?
I like I said, that's gonna go back into the thing where like sometimes I just be lying. Like I had said,
You just lie about stupid shit for no reason, huh?
yeah, I had said the N, not the word with a heart, but you know, I'm Mexican. Around here in California, we say that. We be saying that shit. So I had said it, and then I was like, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm black, guys. Like, I don't know, bro.
Lemur was also exposed for showing an interest in incest. On one occasion, he said to her, "I got to see if you'd be watching the If I called you stepsis, what would you do in the real world?" He was also sending her characters and images that depicted these kinds of behaviors, further exposing his fascination with incest and inappropriate content. This exchange reveals not only his fascination with taboo content, but also the way he attempted to involve Lily in these conversations, crossing personal boundaries and raising serious concerns about his behavior. And when this came out, in classic Lemur fashion, he tried to downplay it, saying he was just making fun of Lily since she was being accused of being a addict.
Trying to make a joke towards the fact that Lily, like people were messing around with Lily and saying she was a addict. So I was like, would you? It wasn't real, bro. Like it was a fucking hypothetical.
But if this was not bad enough, Lemur also hates his own audience. Lily said, and I quote, "It's crazy because he genuinely talks bad about his own community and calls them stupid, and that all of them are cringe." While Lemur tried to apologize for this behavior, it apparently was not enough and was most likely insincere.
Be clear, I was a
friend. I also let my fans down in an extreme level. I texted this person who I never should have been texting.
But it was not just his audience. Lemur also spoke badly about his closest YouTuber friends. Lemur was close friends with another big creator in the Lolcow commentary niche, Kiwi Tapes, who has over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Despite their friendship, Lemur spoke negatively about him to his ex-girlfriend Lily. Lemur said, "Fuck Kiwi Tapes. I had like 2 conversations with him. He has never helped me and always copies me and other small channels." In response, Kiwi said, "Pretty gross. You're an absolute snake." Lemur also did the same with another close friend, Major Chilla, who was also a Lolcow commentary creator. Chilla had asked Lemur to go live with him, but instead of simply declining like a normal person, Lemur talked negatively about Chilla to his girlfriend. Lemur said, "Chilla wants me to go live with him. I told him nah. First off, I'm drunk and chilling. I would rather not get drunk with this dude for no reason, on live with tons of people while I am trying to chill." He then proceeded to insult Chilla further, criticizing him for being 27 years old and not having his life together. "I want to relax and he is trying to guilt me into it. It's like literally no, and I am tired. Not everyone is 27 or whatever and not having anything else going on." After all of this came out, in his response video, Lemur tried to downplay everything once again, claiming that he was merely venting to Lily and that nothing he said should be taken seriously. He insisted repeatedly that he had not spoken badly about his friends and that all of Lily's accusations were completely fabricated or exaggerated.
Have like conversations with people who they're friends with, where you don't expect them to come out. You're just shooting the shit. I guess the basic way is you're just shooting the shit. Like, this isn't very serious stuff. If it was serious, you'd be talking to the person about it. You're venting.
Ironically, in his very next apology video, Lemur completely contradicted his previous statement. In this video, he admitted that he had indeed talked badly about his friends, and that his earlier claim of merely venting was false. He acknowledged that his words and actions were more serious than he had initially suggested, directly undermining the defense he had presented in the first video.
I apologize, genuinely. I do not plan to ever talk about somebody behind their back. It's one thing to vent to somebody casually. It's another thing to just straight up talk shit about somebody. Just act like you completely dislike them or, you hate them. That's basically what I did. I was and I made it seem as though I hate these people when they were my friends who helped me out a lot. This should have been the major part of my initial video, was my apology. I should have apologized to everybody thoroughly.
After all of these allegations were made public, revealed primarily by Lily and in collaboration with Kiwi Farms, most notably a user named Osama bin Laden, a new thread was created dedicated exclusively to documenting Lemur's behavior. Initially, many of his audience members defended him, placing blame on Lily instead. They claimed that she was seeking clout or trying to portray herself as a victim, using statements such as, "Glad you got out of that situation. No one should have to go through any of that. Take care. I'm just gonna say girls are crazy. If you add internet clout into it, I can only imagine how bad things can get. Just look at what Cyrax's new loser girlfriend is willing to put herself through just to get a little recognition." At the same time, some of Lily's claims were inconsistent and occasionally contradicted themselves. Nevertheless, in his repeated attempts to exonerate his name, Lemur produced multiple videos defending himself and also appeared in the other people's live streams, speaking to his audience and attempting to explain his side. Ironically, these appearances only served to further confirm the truth of many of the allegations. Lemur even admitted on camera that he often lies about events or statements, specifically to protect himself from accountability and to avoid admitting wrongdoing in public.
Like I said, that's gonna go back into the thing where sometimes I just be lying. Like I had said,
You just lie about stupid shit for no reason, huh?
Eventually, as all the details came to light, and especially after Lemur himself admitted to much of what had been said, it became undeniably clear that he was not the victim in any of these situations. In fact, he had engaged in most, if not all, of the behaviors he had been accused of by Lily. The reaction from his audience was swift and decisive. Many people who had previously supported him now turned against him entirely, with his fan base coining a new nickname, the Creeping Lemur, replacing the previous moniker of the Leaping Lemur. His subscriber count reflected this dramatic shift in public perception. Prior to the controversy, Lemur had approximately 70,000 subscribers. Following the revelations, his count fell sharply to 46,000, meaning he lost nearly 20,000 followers. The decline did not stop there, as his subscriber numbers continued to drop on an almost daily basis. Additionally, Lemur became a full-fledged Lolcow himself. Numerous Lolcow commentary channels began producing videos about him, many of which amassed hundreds of thousands of views. Despite this, Lemur attempted to continue his usual content creation, producing commentary videos about other creators as he had done before. However, these efforts did not succeed. Videos that would previously reach the tens of thousands of views were now failing to even reach 10,000, highlighting a dramatic drop in engagement and influence. influence. When these attempts at normal content creation did not work, Lemur took arguably the worst approach. He began trying to farm sympathy by guilt-tripping his own audience, attempting to make them feel responsible for the negative events in his life. In one video, he claimed that his family was kicking him out of the house, blaming the harassment they received from viewers for the problems he was experiencing. To support this claim, Lemur presented a supposed voice recording from his father. Upon closer inspection, the recording appeared to be fake. The voice did not sound authentic and seemed altered using a voice changer. Moreover, the audio repeated Lemur's own words verbatim, giving the impression that it was Lemur himself speaking rather than his father. This further undermined any credibility in his attempt to portray himself as a victim of harassment and reinforced the perception that he was manipulating his audience for sympathy. And while he would apologize and then ask for sympathy from his audience, at the same time he would turn 180 and insult them, saying they were all wrong for making fun of these Lolcows, when in reality he made a career out of blatantly insulting them while being no better than these people.
A lot of you are as mentally incompetent as some of the same people who you make fun of. You'll make fun of somebody for being stupid or for making some kind of mistake, while at the same time your whole comment is filled with grammatical errors and it makes you look like you don't even know how to fucking speak English, right? And it's probably your first language.
And when this failed, he then turned into a complete hate mood by speaking badly about his YouTuber friend, which he apologized for in his first apology with Lily, but now he doubled down and started saying extremely disturbing things, like Major Chilla being alcoholic and that he had said a slur one time. This is not only hypocritical, but also baffling because Lemur has also used a slur in a very derogatory way to insult another black person while simultaneously lying multiple times about his ethnicity. And even if these accusations were true, they don't even come close to the allegations against him. Lemur also talked about his other YouTuber friend Mayor Menace, claiming that he is extremely overweight and a terrible person. While this is not proven, what is proven is that Lemur himself is extremely overweight and has still failed to take accountability for his hypocrisy of trashing other people for being overweight while he himself is. Lemur and a bunch of his other YouTuber friends had a group chat as well as a private conversations, but Lemur, in an attempt to hurt them and take them down with him, would leak things like this.
You're wondering why all those times Major Chiller told you no when you asked for a spot on the barnyard? Because I know you remember those times. He came back and told me about it. It was because he thought that you sounded like shit. He didn't think that you sounded good and that you were good at making content. He said that you would ruin the flow of the conversation, so we shouldn't include you and we should only use you in the background. That's what he told me like multiple times.
But all of this didn't help him get back to where he was. Eventually, a creator who was once seen as the pinnacle of a certain community and loved by many has now failed so miserably that his comeback would only fuel his downfall even further. The Leaping Lemur remains a rare example of what not to do as a creator. Family was kicking him out of the house, blaming the harassment they received from viewers for the problems he was experiencing. To support this claim, Lemur presented a supposed voice recording from his father. Upon closer inspection, the recording appeared to be fake. The voice did not sound authentic and seemed altered using a voice changer. Moreover, the audio repeated Lemur's own words verbatim, giving the impression that it was Lemur himself speaking, rather than his father. This further undermined any credibility in his attempt to portray himself as a victim of harassment and reinforced the perception that he was manipulating his audience for sympathy. And while he would apologize and then ask for sympathy from his audience, at the same time he would turn 180 and insult them, saying they were all wrong for making fun of these Lolcows, when in reality he made a career out of blatantly insulting them while being no better than these people. And when this failed, he then turned into a complete hate mood by speaking badly about his YouTuber friend, which he apologized for in his first apology with Lily, but now he doubled down and started saying extremely disturbing things like Major Chilla being alcoholic and that he had said a slur one time. This is not only hypocritical, but also baffling because Lemur has also used a slur in a very derogatory way to insult another black person while simultaneously lying multiple times about his ethnicity. And even if these accusations were true, they don't even come close to the allegations against him. Lemur also talked about his other YouTuber friend Mayor Menace, claiming that he is extremely overweight and a terrible person. While this is not proven, what is proven is that Lemur himself is extremely overweight and has still failed to take accountability for his hypocrisy of trashing other people for being overweight while he himself is.